Hey, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to send a follow-up message to our president. Number one, I'm sorry the Knicks lost for you yesterday, but at least you did get to see a good game. But I was hard on you yesterday, or at least harder than some, I guess, have been. But I would like to follow that up because what I didn't say was that I am praying for you and rooting for you the entire time and sure don't hate you, sir. So. I'm just pointing out that if you want to, you said it yourself many times, no deal would be preferable to bad deal. So I get you do know that. I get it's a thankless job to answer. But so I would just point out that so absent some total victory, which is not up to any of us, that would be them who would have to agree formally to some kind of comprehensive all the stuff and give you everything. I don't know that they're in a position to, but it wouldn't matter. So anyway, I don't want to get into all that again, but I do want to point out that, as I did say yesterday, sir, when in doubt, if you're trying to ground yourself in something at all, or what is I would point you back to your own words on day one of the war. That person seemed to have a purpose. That person seemed to understand the main objectives and who the main problem is that we're trying to defang, etc., etc. So I would, if when in doubt, just go back and look to your own words, sir. Because that person, though, seemed like quack-a-ma-duck or stupid or whatever. And, listen, if I don't say mean words sometimes, then it doesn't do you any favors, sir. So I get that. I sure ain't against you, and I'm not in favor of long wars with death. And it's the exact opposite. But you gotta make sure. See, when you're sitting it out, and then these ones start bombing, and this, they script in this hell. I understand you understand that. I understand you're the president, and I understand I'm praying for you, sir. So I just did want to follow it up with that. Because whatever the short-term pain, the pump, or anywhere else for our country, let alone the other ones with someone really getting hurt. Well, I understand you have to factor in all that. I do get that. But I also understand, there would have to be, you would have to leave that place better than you found it. Or every one of them is going to pile on you, and rightfully so, as they should if that were the situation. But there's no need. I do not think. I'll zip it with respect to that. I just wanted to tell you, sir. I've been praying for you from day one. You say, I understand you have to deal with assassination attempts and all that. Nuts on the left. Just, look what they just did. I don't know. There was some turning point thing, and they dressed up as a Charlie Kirk head and do all this. If you look at how nuts some of these people are with how disrespectful towards anything, but I did call you stupid, sir. And one or two other quack-a-ma-duck words like quack-a-ma-duck verbatim. Because the guy on Sunday doesn't seem as have as much resolve or know what's going on or know what they want to do as much as the person from day one. So, and obviously I would get one. But, because at that point, this. Anyway, sir, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for our country. I'm praying for the other countries. And it's not like I have no amount of faith. I do have faith in it. It's just that you would make sure you understand that a bad deal is not an option. No deal is much, much preferable, even to pretty good deal, if you would ask me. Because, if you want to make sure that regime in 10, 20 years doesn't have a nuclear well, sure, in writing one way and trying to extend is one way to do it. But if they just collapse under their own weight because we didn't do a deal, and in the meantime they go away, because they didn't want to just announce for themselves, all right, you can leave the strait. We don't need to do a deal with the Americans just to announce we won't attack you and stay away from these spots because that's where we put the mines, or anything at all that would be a sign of good faith, that you don't need a deal just for them to do that and announce that for themselves and hold to it. we see that, then maybe sure, maybe you would get rid of the blockade. They could trade their oil again. They want to talk about sanctions relief, then they could talk about nuclear stuff. They have your number. They could call you. If not, they hope their regime collapses under its own weight, and you said as much on day one, which is why I'm saying I would refer you back to your words on day one, because so none of us know what you know in this, like you've been dealing with, but again, I mean, even yesterday, they're saying for themselves, they do not want one. So I don't know, in terms of deal, there's a lot of bravado, but I mean, like, neither would necessarily we want one. Trump walks away from a deal. I understand your regime is tough. So, anyway, we're all trying to resolve stuff because because they did that, it caused, Anyway, I want you to know I am praying for you, sir. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I'm just a civilian who's shadow banned and pointing out CNN, who the same people with the lawfare and the normalizing of anything at all that's ridiculous. Now remember the bloodbath one when you said if Biden lets them put that Ford car plant down in Mexico to be a bloodbath for the auto industry, and the same people who provably use that word even just the same week themselves went, and do with yourself. You're trying to tell me that you care even slightly what they think, and you really do. So they use they play on that. They know you. That is certainly, we all have our priorities. That is one of yours at the moment. You get those people just right out of there. We don't want you to do the right thing, whether it ends in a deal or it ends in you just, at some point, you walk away from, whatever it is, sir. Certainly I'm praying about it. I get it's a thorny, complicated situation. And, maybe I was harsh on yourself yesterday, which didn't do me any pleasures, but I wasn't totally trying to be. I mean, if you can't take that, they're gonna pile on way worse if you make a bad deal, you do anything at all where, I don't know, you enrich. You get that. So I am praying for you, and I am praying for our country, and certainly for our soldiers, because I get they're the ones, even when they do the blockade, they are in harm's way I understand that, sir. I get you do understand that. Anyway. Just don't let it get away from you, because you see with the Houthis, it's just because these people are hot-headed. I mean, whatever else, you see they tweet for them all the time. I'll zip it. Anyway, I'm going on for long enough, sir. God bless. Have a good day, and I am praying for you, sir. And yeah, just don't forget that bad deal is not an option, sir. No deal is much, much preferable to bad deal or even fairly good deal, because it would codify a lifeline to these same people that, if you go back to your speech on day one, it doesn't really square with that. So that's all. I understand there's other countries. I understand there's other considerations. I understand there's all that. But, that is why I'm praying for you, sir. I'm not saying you can't handle it. It's not that. It's just it could go either way, and so I'm praying. I mean, you would do your bit to, get your head in the game. These people do have their backs against the wall. They are fighting for regimes. They are just gonna yes you to death, and then they'll shank you if you let them. So you do know that. So, and it's the IIGC, sir. So anyway, I pray for. I am praying for the situation. And this the best of luck. And I say, I just want to be more respectful with this message than my previous one. Although, would it done you no good if I was some sycophant in the previous one?